Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Naruto Shippuden episode 130. What happened last time?
Last time, Jiraiya was in there. He captured two guys in his Toad Bar prison. It was interrogating them, found out a bunch of stuff. It turns out Pain has completely taken control of the entire village for quite a while at this point. No one's allowed to talk about the old leadership. No one's allowed to question him. Everyone's just doing their own thing. He has multiple bodies, which is creepy. Lady Angel is like the person who relays the information that he decides. They view him as a god. It's just like a weirdly like brainwashed village. And he's getting creepier. The more I learn about him, the less I want to learn about him.
Indeed. Hope you guys enjoy this reaction. Hope you leave a like and subscribe if you like Naruto Shippuden, if you like hearing us talk about it. Support the official release. Check it out on Netflix, Crunchyroll. Do what you gotta do. Come here to hear what we have to say. Not just to rewatch the show. We're not providing this as a market substitute. Check out our Patreon if you want to get a week ahead on this show and many others. You can get the uncuts for this and other shows. Check that out. Link in the description. Let's go. Naruto Shippuden, episode 130. Don't look.
Turn me into a frog then. I'm not gonna say anything else to you. I may be low ranking, but I still have my pride. I'm a ninja. I have nothing to say to an outsider who has no idea what goes on in our nation.
Huh. Still a ninja no matter how lowly. Interrogation was never my forte anyway. Okay, talk time is over. But you're still going to stay put. I'll just go ahead and ask this god of yours in person then.
Ugh.
And then he never came back, and that guy was trapped inside a frog until he starved to death.
Yeah, you really thought it was just Orochimaru.
I mean, what are you thinking summoning me here right now, Jiraiya? Is this about Naruto's ki?
No, it's not about training this time.
Oh, that's the last time we saw him.
For me for a bit.
Thinking of removing me? What in the world is going on?
I'm just about to go into battle with a very tough one.
This guy must really be something if you have to release me to go fight him.
Don't worry. I want to press the storage release seal now, so...
Very well, then.
My God.
There.
So how long do you think it'll take? When will you be coming back?
I really doubt that it'll take all that long. But if something should happen to me, you just go and store yourself inside of Naruto.
What? You lost your mind? You're well aware that the key that corresponds to Naruto's 8-sign seal is transcribed on my belly. Each and every year, the 4th Hokage seal grows weaker. We keep the key in order to retighten the seal if we should ever find the need. To place a key right next to the lock it opens is unheard of.
Yes, and yet, don't forget that it was entrusted to us by Minato. It was always meant to be returned to Naruto.
But it's too soon. Once already you sweet-talked me into loosening the tetragram seal, and you know just as well as I do what happened that time. You haven't forgotten, have you?
That's why he went fucking berserk. That one time during training.
I believe that Minato entrusting me with this jutsu formula indicates that his will was for Naruto to complete that jutsu for himself one day.
That jutsu.
Are you serious?
Yes.
If Naruto requires such a jutsu, he would never be able to control the Nine Tails chakra.
It's all coming together.
If it was undone any further, and the Nine Tails completely overtakes Naruto, that would really go against the 4th Hokage's will.
But Minato only used the seal on the Nine Tails Yin chakra. He split the Nine Tails power into Yin and Yang and sealed the Yang power inside of Naruto. He left the Nine Tails chakra to Naruto on purpose.
Perhaps, but still.
Why did he go so far as to seal that chakra inside his son?
Who can tell? Perhaps it was necessitated by the seal. Or it could be that as a father he simply wanted to pass on that power to his son.
I was Minato's teacher, so I knew him very well, and he never did anything at all without a very good reason. Minato must have known something important, and as a result, he entrusted the Nine Tails power to Naruto because of the knowledge he had.
I think you're reading too much into it.
The last time the Nine-Tailed Fox Spirit attacked the Hidden Leaf Village, it was said to have been a natural disaster, but lately I've begun to suspect something else happened, that its appearance was not a natural phenomenon. I think there's more to it. I believe it may very well have been manually summoned.
Fool! The Nine Tails has always been a natural disaster that appears when humanity becomes steeped in evil. Besides, there's no one that's powerful enough. No one can summon the likes of the Nine Tails.
That's just the thing. There was one. What? And who's that? One of the Uchiha clan founders, Madara Uchiha.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit! You fool! Madara lived back in the early days of the Hidden Leaf. No way he was still alive 15, 16 years ago.
First Hokage defeated Madara Uchiha in the battle at the final
Huge
valley.
conversation.
Your theory is pointless.
Perhaps.
That's what, like, we're, yeah.
This feeling that I can't shake. And it fills me with unease.
He looks so tired.
That was a
Fat conversation.
like so much got talked about there. Holy shit. Oh, it's him.
When you get there, go straight to see Ibiki. He already knows you'll be coming.
Ibiki. Remember Ibiki?
Yeah. He's really good at getting information out of people.
The torturing man.
Which is apparently, yeah, Jiraiya's not very good at that, but it's a pretty good way of prisoner transport, actually. Oh no. Should have just stayed in there.
Jiraiya Sensei, huh? How nostalgic. Then we must kill him. It's far too late for regrets. I came forth in this body to kill the intruder, and I'll do just that. Now take me to him.
All right then. I'll go on ahead now and handle him by myself until you arrive.
Try to kill him, if you can.
This is insane. Can you believe this is Naruto fucking Shippuden right now?
Fire style, flame bomb!
Holy shit.
Ugh. Oh my god, that's so...
He's like breathing, inflating himself again? That's
That's
crazy.
so weird.
Art of the manipulated shadow.
I dangled a lure in hopes of drawing out this pain fellow, but I never imagined that I'd catch you. You've honed your jutsu magnificently, but even more, you've become quite a catch. Going on. It was my understanding that all of you had died, but I never would have guessed that you turned into sheets of paper.
Surely you're the messenger, Lady Angel. This man is an intruder. You should kill him now.
You're dead.
Leave now and stay away.
Yes, ma'am.
So who is this pain?
It's really none of your business, Sensei.
Wings. Oh my god, they're creepy wings. They're disgusting.
Feel like an angel? Does putting on an act like that really have any benefits?
I've received my orders from God. I will kill you.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
You're soaked in oil, so you can't peel apart. The kindest and gentlest of the three of you children that I trained. What happened to the others? Nagato and Yahiko. So tell me, which of the other two ended up becoming this pain then?
Just what do you want
Both
to
of
be
them.
ready for us after all these years? You should have done what Orochimaru suggested. Isn't that what you're thinking now?
These kids. Shall I? We've seen so many.
Like I was saying, this is Naruto Shippuden. Just to remind you, this is the same show that we like shit on every 20 episodes about it being slow.
I have no regrets about letting the three of you live, no matter how this may end. I'm just very sad. The reason I taught you ninjutsu was to enable all of you to survive those harsh times. Well, that's just too sad. For a few years after our time together, I heard your names mentioned here and there. You made a reputation for yourselves, fighting for hire in a few conflicts. But then...
You know nothing about what happened to us afterwards, Sensei.
No, I don't. That's quite apparent. But why all this stuff with the Akatsuki? What the Akatsuki is doing now is simply wrong.
This is what I've thought through on my own, and that is that. Jiraiya Sensei.
Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jiraiya Sensei. Jir Well, your appearance has changed quite a bit. But those eyes... So I guess you're the one who became Pain. Nagato. What happened to you?
You don't need to know. After all, you are an outsider.
You really have changed, Nagato.
Summoning Jutsu.
Fucking crab. It's like sea foam.
He intends to nullify and wash away the oil.
Is this like salt watery?
Stay back.
That's creepy.
Word of the Raging Lion's Mane!
Whoa.
Just fucking ripped it apart. Jiraiya's nothing to fuck with, dude. This is so intense.
What happened to Yahiko?
Ah, yes. There was such a fellow once, wasn't there? He died a long time ago.
Nagato, what happened?
All I want to do is protect those two, no matter what kind of pain I may be forced to endure.
I understand. What happened to you? The old you would never...
Nothing happened. Nothing except for the war. Too many people died in this land. All that pain forced me to grow up.
What does that mean?
That even innocent, foolish children will grow up in the face of pain until their thoughts and beliefs are the same as adults.
But abandoning one's love for his friends and fellow man, is that really what it means to become an adult?
You are still merely a man. Tired in endless pain, have matured and become much more than a man.
What are you saying?
I've grown from a man to a god. Since I'm a god, all my words and thoughts have become absolute. Poor Sensei, you're still only human. It's not your fault if you don't understand what I'm saying.
Have you really become that twisted?
And being a god, I realize that there are things I can do which mortal men cannot even dream of. Or to put it more simply, I have evolved beyond that.
Just what exactly are you planning to do?
At last, I'm going to put an end to this senseless, war-riddled world. This will be my sacred deed.
If that's your goal, then why are you gathering up all the tailed beasts?
You're about to die anyway, so I don't need to keep this secret from you any longer. I will use the seal-tailed beasts to develop new forbidden jutsu. Jutsu of such magnitude that just one could destroy an entire nation.
How could creating such jutsu possibly bring about an end to war? Weapons such as those will simply increase conflicts between
If
nations.
not, if everyone's dead.
To each one of the warring nations, I will hand out a forbidden jutsu weapon. For once they have them, once they possess such a power, then they're bound to use it. All of humanity, all the nations will learn what pain truly is. It can be said that this world is still in the process of maturing, that it's still on a path to stability. Pain will make the world grow up, just like it forced us to grow up. And for the world to develop to the point where it can think and walk on its own, it needs the help of a god's hand. This world is still but a child, you see.
You want to teach the world pain in order to make it grow up? Is that it? Do you really believe that this is your mission?
I do. I believe it is
Absolute.
fully because I'm a pacifist god.
Well, I see you've developed a sense
Don't think that's what that
My vision is too important. I'm over here, Sensei.
Well, that's your summoning then, is it?
To me, you're like a single-celled organism that has.
I don't think they all have those, like, things in them.
Summoning jutsu! Imagine a kid treating me like I have news for you, kid. I'm not really human anymore either. These tears of blood overflowing with rage. I went from Sunny to Sage, the hermit sage of Mount Miyomoku. I am Master Jiraiya.
You haven't matured at all, Sensei.
Come on, watch it, Mr. Gamaken. Don't jostle me during such a crucial juncture.
Gamaken.
I'm sorry. I'm quite ungraceful.
Oh, ending time. No spoilers, I confirmed it.
good song.
Mm-hmm. It is a way better song than I remember.
It's a really good song.
It's a good ending.
Nice.
But that episode, holy shit.
Man, just when I was thinking, wow, what a level-headed, like, type of plan they had going on, now it's just like, okay, you really don't understand, like, you're just an idiot. Your logic is completely flawed. Destroying everything won't make the remaining people be like, wow, we should never fight again. I mean, they might for, like, one generation, or they'll just want to fight you. They'll be angry at God. And they'll, like, man, I just fucking hate people like that. I hate villains like that who literally think that they are a god and they can control, like, what's going on. And it's like, yes, I know exactly what to do. I'll just give everyone something that will kill everyone else, and then they'll learn their lesson. And then they'll be mature. Like me, I'm so mature. I've ascended to a higher level where I can do no wrong. This is the right way to, it's like, no.
It's hubris of, like, the highest possible degree where you think that, like...
It's just bad. It's just bad. And that's interesting. Now that we know what his eyes can do, he can make, like, whatever he fucking wants. Apparently. Like, the other guy who had those eyes made every single thing that we have ever seen. Apparently.
So, to clarify on that, like, the second Hokage, for example, is credited with creating and developing a lot of jutsu. The Sage of the Six Paths did not create, for example, Naruto's Rasen Shuriken. Naruto developed that himself, but, like, the sort of whole system around all that, like, turning chakra into jutsu, that's what he developed. So...
But, yeah, if the first guy did that, then the next guy, after, like, hundreds of years of that being established and people doing what they want with it, and this, like, then they already have an idea of how to, like, how jutsu works, like, you're not creating that out of nothing. It's like, oh, I know how that works, and then I'm gonna use these, like, mythological, super powerful creatures to... like, make that, but, like, even more powerful. I don't like him. He's just a piece of shit. I hate him.
I really wish I could give any opinion, but I can't. At this juncture, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on all this shit. I'd love to talk about it, but it's way too fucking early to talk about this stuff.
What I need to know is how, like, what... I keep forgetting the girl's name.
Conan.
What I need to know is, like, what the backstory was that made her, like, think that he is in the right... Like, think that he is actually... knows what he's doing. Because I feel like most people would hear his plan and then be like, nah, that ain't it. And he's literally told a straight up a different plan to the people who are working for, like, he's the like fake leader of the Akatsuki, and he's told them something completely different than what we've been told. Oh yeah, also there's like all that stuff. There's too much stuff going on in this episode.
Holy shit, this episode was fucking
There's too much. I was
tight.
just thinking, and then I was like, no, that wasn't last episode. That was straight up this episode. With
to
that,
the gills.
The Toad Scroll boy who was inside of Jiraiya is now that was like the key to Naruto's seals, and now he's been saying, oh, like
to his seals, like to his pet seals. No, to his seal. As I said, seals. Anyway, yeah.
Imagine if you could summon a seal.
The nine-tailed seal. He's just sitting there like doing that thing. Anyway,
so now he's telling Jiraiya's like, yeah, if anything happens to me, go in Naruto, which is But then he's like, what the why would I ever do that? That's like, that's like the worst plan of all time. And then he's like, you know what? I knew Naruto's dad. I knew Minato. He would have known what he was doing. And he would have known that one day I would just put this inside of Naruto.
I just love that conversation because that happens like 4 times. It's like the Toad is like, but okay, I get what you're saying, but let's just lay out this entire thing. And then he's just like, well, doesn't matter because I know Minato. And then he's just like, but if the chakra goes out of control, Naruto's chakra is just swept to the side.
What happened
Don't you
last time I
understand?
listened
He's
to
like,
you?
but Minato would know better. And it's just like, okay, you keep saying that, Jiraiya, but that's not an
Naruto
answer.
has demonstrated zero ability to be able to like handle this kind of responsibility.
But Minato knows best. I trusted him, and I taught him as a teacher, and I know.
Yeah, and then also it was like the nine-tailed fox wasn't just there by accident. Only one person could have done that. However, they're supposed to be dead, but we already know that he's not dead.
Jiraiya has theorized that
Yeah.
Madoru Uchiha, the only person who's said to control the nine-tailed fox,
Yeah, was apparently alive. And apparently he fought the first Hokage, which is what that place, the final valley. Yeah.
That's what those statues
That's
are.
that's an interesting like metaphorical statue area for their fight.
Yeah.
Just in general. That's kind of cool.
It's so fucking badass. And then that's where Naruto and Sasuke fought as well.
That's what I'm saying. It was interesting for them to have fought there.
Yeah. They, by the way, I think teased that, like, when Naruto and Sasuke went there for the first time, like, not only just with the statues, but like, what, I forget which character it was, but they remarked
That
about, like, it's
also-
interesting that we're fighting here. And it's like, what?
It's also interesting, because I guess I was assuming that Madoru Uchiha was older than that, but he's, like, he would have, if he had any type of, we already know that people can elongate their life in many ways. So now it's not as crazy. He would be alive still when he's, like, not actually that old. Like, the first Hokage, like, seems like it was a long, we were just talking about this, it seems like it was a long time ago, but it wasn't actually, like...
It was, like, 70 years ago?
Yeah.
Something
Which
like
is
that?
a long time, but that's not as long...
Yeah.
That's not as long ago as I was thinking. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, he's, like, this like, ancient guy. But he's not even that, like, he could have easily, like, Orochimaru...
Again, it's like you pointed out very aptly, it's like the lifespan is way fucking shorter in this world. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's easier for things to be forgotten. Because people just die in every 20, like, people live to be 25. That's an average age to die in this world. Because it's so war-ridden and shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like he was a long time ago because probably no one alive today would have ever come into contact with him. But, no, now it's not so crazy that he could have, like, just found a new body or somehow, like, made some sort of thing that he could just survive along. Like, you know, like, Sasori did that, Orochimaru did that.
Well, Orochimaru was a little bit less successful.
Yeah,
if only Orochimaru knew about puppet jutsu, he would be set. Like,
that's true. Orochimaru actually was, like, so dumb because he's, like, this has nothing to do with what I was talking about, but I just want to talk about it briefly because I think about it from time to time. I'm like, Orochimaru and everyone like him who is chasing immortality always dies younger than they would have otherwise.
Voldemort.
Every time. Straight up every time, they always die sooner than they would have.
It's like Voldemort was younger than Dumbledore by, like, 60, 70 years or something.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. It's exactly
it's
like
the same
that.
thing. Like, Orochimaru would have been, like, 50.
Younger?
He's the same age as, like, or, yeah.
They're in their 40s.
Oh, okay.
I think Orochimaru
thought
was supposed to be, like, literally 40 years old when he killed the first the third Hokage.
Oh, okay. So he's, like, in his 40s. That's
In
not...
his 40s, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's...
But that's even worse. It's like, you're not even old. Like,
Yeah,
but
I know.
again, the lifespans, it's like people, like, they
But
probably
then-
have a different perspective on age.
But at the same time, you're, like, chasing immortality when, like, you could have just, like, run off into the bush, worked on your stuff, not pissed anyone off, you would have lived, and then you could have started, instead of having this, like, 3-year...
You could have started that cycle later.
That's what I'm saying, like, when you were actually, like, getting old, anyway, that's
maybe
kind of irrelevant,
like I always thought the reason he started earlier was because it was such a forbidden thing that in order to advance and perfect the jutsu, he would need to try it out on himself. So it was a risk that you have to take in order to get to the point where, okay, now I've perfected the jutsu and I can switch bodies without fucking like shortening my life.
However, at the same time, he then spent so much time looking for a new body, raising the new body, doing this for the new body, that he wasn't really actually learning that many new jutsu and like enjoying his time with each body.
The theory again is eventually when he like if he perfects this jutsu, then he'll have no barrier and he can take as much time as he fucking wants to perfect all of the other jutsu after that. So like the first priority is find a way so I can live forever, because until that point I will eventually, like if I'm middling around with all this other bullshit and then okay, I'm going to start now that I'm 60, 70 years old, I'm going to start perfecting this jutsu, and then I die before I perfect it. So I feel like that was the whole reason why he focused on it so much, but doesn't fucking matter anymore because he's dead.
However, Pain is not dead, and he has also some... Madara Uchiha found a way. Pain also... I mean, it's not like he's necessarily immortal, but he has like a bunch of different bodies that he can swap into, so I'm assuming if this went on long enough, he would outlive most people with whatever that is that he's doing. Also, like, all of his things that he's summoning have like things, like, I thought that they were like piercings, but it like looks almost like electrical like cording and plugs, rather like on his other body that we saw him in, it looked more like a fashion state, not necessarily like fashion, but like
there was an aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then in this one, it's like they're like...
There still is, but it's more... It seems like...
It doesn't look as like... It looks planned out, but it's like symmetrical, very like basic looking. It doesn't look like jewelry. It looks like something that needs to be there. And all the things that he's summoning have those, like, I don't know what to call them. Those like things in them, it looks like. So that's something, but I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's because he's like summoning things that he hasn't actually like made a pact with, and he's like enslaved them in some way and is controlling them by like putting these weird like things through their body, and then they have to do what he wants. I don't know.
A lot of interesting theories.
But I guess that's it.
Is that it? Is there more to talk about here? I think that's it.
We saw
Gamma Ken.
Yes.
Gamma Ken, the new frog or toad summon, and he's got like this,
he looks cool.
Yeah, he's got like a thing in a shield there. That's like a plate looking thing. Cool as shit. Gonna see what that's all about next episode. Hope you guys like and subscribe if you like Naruto Shippuden, if you like hearing us talk about it, and if you just can't wait to see the next one. I know I can't. You can go to the description, check out the link there to patreon.com/boldcast to get a week ahead and get the uncut for this reaction and many others. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.